All right, you guys, it's time to rise and thrive. I'm Tricia Turner. It's the last Monday of March 2026. This is crazy that it's already the end of third quarter. Wow, goes by so fast. Rise and Thrive is every Monday, 12 p.m. ish Central Standard Time to bring you positivity, data, facts about something to do with faith, family, finances, and fitness. I have Amy and Maggie with me on today, and I'm super excited because Maggie has not been on the last couple of times. Hi, you guys.
Hey there.
Super excited, y'all. Maggie, for those of y'all that don't know, she is in like southeast part of Houston. What you say, Maggie?
Yes, the South and the East.
Yes.
That's my market center for sure.
Amy's in the north. Would you call it just north, Amy?
I would say northwest.
Yeah. And I'm in the west. So like everything West Houston, Fulshire, Katy, Richmond, Sealy, all that stuff that way. So we're bringing you like data real time because we're all still in the trenches. We're not telling you stuff that happened in 10 years ago in our careers, or 5 years ago or a year ago. We're actually like on appointments every single day. Maggie, let's start with you because you primarily work high volume of like buyer contracts. These interest rates, people are
No, I have a lot of listings. I actually have more listings right now than I do buyers.
Seriously.
Yes, I do.
That's okay. So that's a great thing on the listing side, then, because homes, a lot of them are sitting, failing to sell. What are you seeing in your market?
In my market, well, if you price right, they definitely fly off faster. But of course, whenever you don't educate the seller and provide data, that's whenever you overlist and there you go, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 days on the market.
Yeah.
And of course, we do not want that.
We do not. Are you seeing many come in with multiple offers?
No.
Yep.
I'm not.
Are you seeing homes that if they're not looking amazing, are those the ones sitting on the market?
Yes. So you have to invest in photos, maybe even virtual staging, the Matterport now and video. You have to push out your marketing
You do.
content out there. You sure do. You have to pay to play.
For your buyers that you're working, are you seeing a lot of them pull back because of the interest rates?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Are you turning a lot of them towards new construction?
I try to.
Yeah.
Yes. New construction is lower interest rates. I mean, it's easier to get all closing costs covered, but some buyers just don't want new construction. They want the resale home. They want that charm. They want that traditional home. So when it comes to that, then we tour what they're looking for.
It's so funny because in the housing report, it shows new construction, a lot of new construction, and it depends on the area, but they're down like 24%. So they're freaking out, right? Because they have to carry these expensive mortgages, interest, all this stuff, their staff, all of this. And so they're naturally trying to cut corners where they possibly can. So it shows that a lot of buyers are hesitant about that because of the quality of the construction. I tell people, I'm like, number one, you have to make sure you have a trusted advisor, a real estate professional guiding you in this. But there are a lot of new construction that, yes, there are some crap builders. There's crap in everything, but there's some amazing opportunities out there for you to get in right now, get a like super low interest rate, get a really good deal in a home and use that as a stepping stone for 2 or 3 years from now when the market is better and you've got some equity in there to move it up into the next home. Like, are you guiding your people the same way, Maggie?
Absolutely. But I see with new construction, I don't think the equity is there in like 1, 2, 3 years. In my opinion, I've seen it a little bit longer. Well, because my clients are normally coming in with the bare minimum 3.5% down or 5% down.
Yep.
So if they call me in 2 years and they're like, hey, I'm ready to move, and they think they're sitting on equity, we do guide them beforehand, like, hey, you're probably going to have to be in this home for this amount of years until you're able to see some equity and go into your forever home or your next home.
For sure. Amy, on the flip side, you're in the market, like, well, for one, the Woodlands is like a kind of its own category, but even north of that, where you are really focusing on, what are you seeing as far as inventory, home sitting, home selling? Talk to us.
I think that people are wanting the full package. So what we're finding is people are like, well, if I'm going to buy luxury, where's the pool? Where's the workshop? So now we're having to add in, possibility, like potential pools. I've been bidding pools and I've been bidding workshops, and boy, I've learned a lot in the past 10 days. So they
Yeah.
want that full package. They're like, if I'm going to spend close to 2 million, where's the pool?
Are you seeing homes flying off the market still?
They are definitely selling, but people are not being like hyper assertive. They're slow playing it. They're thinking it. So we have a couple that, told us they were going to put in an offer on our home, and they've been slow playing it. They wanted a bid for the pool, the bid for the workshop. Now we're considering it. We're considering all of our options. And I'm like, okay, but it will come. It will. I'm very confident. And there's a lot of people that are wanting to move to the country. So, I mean, when I'm doing open houses over the weekend, we had several people come through, and our neighborhood, High Meadow West, is a fairly new neighborhood. It's only been in existence for the past year. And it's just funny how people are like, I want to move north. I want to, or not even just north, but I want to move to the country. They want less of a city vibe. And so all the people that are coming our way. And definitely, I mean, we're picking up people that are like, can you build us a house? So I have a whole list of people that want us to build.
Are you getting any buyer feedback about, I'm going to wait and see what the Iran conflict does when it stops? Are you getting any of that?
Not in the luxury market. Nope. I took a couple that was looking up to $1 million yesterday, and they were like, the war doesn't affect us. We just want a nice house. And
Isn't that nice?
yeah, they're in a different category, And so we looked at 7 homes, and they picked their top 2, and they were like, am I willing to drive extra to live by the lake, or do I want the convenience of a luxury neighborhood that's nearby, but the home's a little bit older? So they were kind of weighing pros and cons, and they're supposed to give me their answer today.
Exciting.
As far as listings go, are you seeing your listings move, sit, price reductions? What are you seeing?
In the past, I would say it definitely shifted over the past 2 weeks. Listings are now going slower. So, I've done price drops as necessary, but same home, 2 streets over, still sitting on the market. We sold the other one, had multiple offers 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. So yeah, this Iran thing definitely has affected that middle market. And lower market, I feel like rents are so high. They're like, hey, if I can put only 3% down, and it's the same cost to get into a new build versus rent, those buyers have no problem. That lower market. For me, I'm just struggling with the mid market.
Yeah, I talked to a guy yesterday about one of our listings, and it's in Katy, Old Katy, and it's for rent and for sale. Beautiful home with pool, the whole 9. And he's like, we're interested in buying it, but we have a unique situation. We want to rent it for 5 years. And I said, you want to rent it for 5 years? Why would you want to rent something for 5 years? And he said, we're selling our home right now in Katy, and our kids will be out of school in 5 years. And we don't want to stay here. We don't want anything to do with this place. We want to move, and we don't want to retire here. I was like, okay, well, why don't you just buy something now? And in 5 years, it will, where you're trying to buy will definitely be worth more money. The market's going to correct itself. And by 2027, we should see appreciation again. So you're talking 5 years, that should definitely appreciate. And he goes, yeah, but guess what? He said, in 5 years from now, if it starts to appreciate next year, he said, in 5 years, once I remove fees and all that stuff, is it really worth it? Is there going to be enough equity there that it makes sense? Or would it just be easier for me to go rent something for 5 years? And I listened to him, and I was like, I have to do the math on that. But I said, for you, it may make sense. But for a seller, if their goal is to sell, it wouldn't make sense, because they will appreciate in 5 years. We don't have a clue what our market will be like in 5 years, other than better than we're doing today. And I told him, in that market, ideally, a seller should hold for 2 years. So she should let you rent it for 2 years, and then she should sell it, because we'll be in a much better market. And he's like, yeah, but I want to do 5 years. It's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
I know.
5 years is a long time. That's the kind of market that we're in, though. People are really, I have found, really, really thinking about their money. Like, they're not just making half thought out decisions. They're really thoroughly mapping out like these things, because there's so much volatility, and there's been so much since COVID where nothing is the same. And when you look at the real estate data, price reductions, new listing inventory, like minute. And then when you get listings come on the market, some of them sell, some of them don't. And it's like, oh my gosh, the same tactics, same strategy, same everything. It really is critical right now that the sellers pay attention to what we're telling them and stop trying to like half-ass getting their home on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It was the thing that I heard. I listened to it over the weekend, and it was like this listing specialist that I love. And he was like, think of it like this. You're going into a listing appointment and you're walking into a home, and the seller has two options. Number one, they can do everything that you tell them to do. Maybe it needs to be painted inside, definitely needs to be decluttered, power washed, the whole nine, everything that we know needs to do to make their home move-in ready, updated, look nice, because no one wants to come in and do these things. They can do these things and price it at market value. And the problem that we have in our market anyway is that we go in and we talk to sellers. We're like, we need you to do these things. And the seller's mind, they're like, I'm going to spend $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
I want to price my home up here. Then it's like, no, you have to do those things just to get here. And if you don't do these things, you have to price here. Are y'all seeing that?
You nailed it right now. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yes. And the sellers don't get it. We put up a listing last week, y'all. I went to the sellers a month ago for their home evaluation, and I said, I need you to do these things. You have to do these things. And if you do these things, this is the number that we're going to get to. I said, if by the time you go on the market, which we gave a deadline of like 30 days, I said, if you go on the market and interest rates are low and we have no inventory, I'll go here. But if they're not, you need you to do all of these things to go here. And if you don't do these things, we're not going here. They called me and they're like, we're ready. Would you please come look at our house the day before pictures to make sure that we're good? I went there. They had done everything plus. It was amazing. They did more than most sellers ever do. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. No one ever does these things. You actually listened and you did everything. And then she goes, so then do we go here? And I said, no, we go here where I said, because interest rates aren't any better. They're actually slightly worse. And you have competition on the market that went here. And so we're going exactly where we need to be. And guess what? You guys will end up selling. Y'all, they went live on Thursday, and we had a jam-packed open house all weekend, and we'll have multiple offers by the end of today.
Amen.
Not over list price, solid offer. But they had to spend, they spent $10,000.
It's 10,000. That's the number, right? It's like 10,000.
But wouldn't you rather spend that and actually be able to sell your home, or would you rather not spend that and never sell your home? And then do a $30,000 price reduction.
Spend the money.
Yes.
Spend it.
Isn't that crazy? And like in your world and in the whole building thing, if you go into a lot of the production builders that are building in, whether it's a master plan community or a custom community, they have, I don't know, like use the right words. They have, they're using less desirable fixtures. Have you seen that?
Yes. They're cutting corners.
Yes. Where it's like that same
really
in
basic,
that $300,000 house.
like solid colored tile. And it's like, wow, at that price point, that's what you're giving people? That's incredible.
Not Amy's listing. That one has flowers on the tile. I walked into your restroom and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. I've never seen that before. You go above and beyond whenever you build your homes, Amy.
Thank you.
When you are looking at like future of real estate, all of us, because we run teams, we run businesses, this is how we take care of our families. Listings, I always believe, is the name of the game. And even though not all of them are selling and not all of them will sell, that's the stats. Do you see that you need to do things differently, Amy? Do you need to do things differently, Maggie? What are you telling agents as we move into, it's about to be April. We should be in an insane season and we're not. So what are you doing differently to prepare yourself for this spring season?
Go, Amy.
Okay. So what I'm doing is really putting out there, I mean, just like on social media, giving them advice as far as like Look for things that have been sitting on the market. For those of you that are worried about interest rates, let's let the seller help us buy it down. Let's use our lender to our benefit. Use a lender that's tried, true, and trusted to guide you, because sellers at this point, because they want to sell, can actually benefit the buyers, right? They want to sell. So let's use that to our advantage. So I had a new agent. She just joined us, Crystal. And she called me and she goes, Amy, we're putting in an offer this morning. I said, great. And I said, what are you doing to help the buyer? Because you represent the buyer, so you're a fiduciary to that buyer. And she goes, well, I want to help her get closing costs. I said, okay, first thing to do is call your expert lender and have them guide you on what that percentage needs to be. And then you let the agent know, look, we're going to work with you. We're serious about buying this house. We see that it's been on the market for 45 days. And at the end of the day, we have the same goal, which is to get to the closing table so the buyer can have a new home, the seller can sell their home, and everyone's happy. So let's work together. And let's work. And it's really working on that 12 of the contract, right? Where are those contributions? Line 12.
Yep. How about you, Maggie?
So what was the question?
How are you? What are you doing differently? Because we're not like here's the deal. And people don't think like this. Like we were all the indicators at the end of 2025 showed that we were going to have an amazing 2026, and we are, but they were all showing that we'd have this incredible selling season early on, which we didn't because of this Iran conflict. No one saw this coming, not even all of the economists and analysts. They all are like, well, didn't see this one coming, blindsided again. So now a lot of our predictions are off. So when you're now looking at your budget, looking at what you're expected to do, like what are you and how are you guiding your agents and yourself, Maggie, into this season?
Tricia, I haven't slowed down since January. I mean, you should have seen me this morning, and like everyone that's here in my office like knows that we come in and our sleeves are rolled up and we're ready. I feel like my sphere, at least the people that I'm helping right now, whether it's a seller or buyer, they're moving in real estate because there's a need. It's not so much a want. So it's either like, you know, a growing family or an older family that needs to get rid of their 2-story home into a 1-story home. So those are the type of clients we're helping. And of course, it's me and my mom, Maggie, the mom. So my mom has that older sphere, and I have that, you know, sphere where they're like, hey, I had 2 babies and now the third one's on its way. We definitely need a 4-bedroom. But what I am telling my agents is nurture your sphere, stay on top of them. And once you get them under contract, like right now, we're still in a season where we can negotiate closing costs.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like we're just able to grab that money for our buyers and let's get it. But let's do it strategically. Like don't just come in crazy where it's just like counter offer. Definitely speak with the listing agent, get inside her head, find out what's going on, find out the motive, find out like what, let her overshare. And then once we have all that information, then, you know, and they're here at the office and we're doing that on speaker. So then we're able to brainstorm around like, hey, this is how I would go in and this is the verbiage I would use. And then you more than likely probably be able to get this max amount in closing cost.
Are you seeing a big variable when you're out with your buyers and they're looking at homes and they want to put offers in? Are you seeing a big difference between what the home's really worth versus what the listing agent is wanting it to be? You guys seen a big difference?
Not really on my end, but I think since I first started real estate, I kind of like it when it doesn't appraise value because I know that I'm able to go toe to toe with the agent and then we're able to get that price down. So I've never let that. And I notice when my agents, sometimes they're very scared. They're like, it's not going to meet value, or what if it comes in under? I'm like, hey, it's okay. That's like, whatever, you know, we'll face that. And I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get the price down. So I tell them like, don't have that fear. Don't let that fear stop you. Like, let's just go. Once we get it appraised, the appraisal comes in low, then like it's an easy fight. They need to sell because the listing agent already overshared.
Yeah. Amy, are you seeing homes overvalued versus what you're putting offers in it?
It's pockets. Yeah. Certain pockets are over, and then certain pockets they're right on track. And it's almost like street to street and month
Yeah.
to month. It's wild. This market is so volatile. It's like, okay, I did the exact same thing last month, same house, 2 streets over, and now this month it's not working. So, and it's just, we have to, and so what I'm telling my sellers is, let's make a game plan, a strategy, like 2 weeks with no offer equals price reduction. Because yeah, you just have to be, you have to be able to be willing to pivot and really think about the strategy.
Well, Houston, Austin, Dallas, all of our Texas markets have some of the largest inventory in the nation and some of the biggest price reductions, price adjustments, homes that are failing to sell, all of that stuff. And it's crazy because I run numbers for our whole team. And so our entire team, like I ran numbers all weekend on multiple properties. I would do my own production plus theirs. So they text me, they're like, hey, we're about to make an offer. Can you please look at our numbers? Like, where does this look right? Every single one, except for the one I did this morning. The one I did this morning, the home was actually priced kind of where it should be, but it was an expired listing. So it sat on the market for 6 months, didn't sell. Now it's back on the market for 3 weeks, and they priced it where it should be. I ran another number yesterday in a highly sought after neighborhood, absolutely beautiful home, backyard oasis. Like you would think, okay, this is one of those that's going to sell like crazy. Nope. Also failed to sell before. On the market, back on the market, they only adjusted their price by $20,000. So they were at $995. Now they're at $975. Okay. We have a buyer interested in making an offer on this home. I did the numbers and I'm like, number one, there's homes sitting on the market just like theirs, just as beautiful as theirs in their neighborhood. The numbers are like 930. Wow. So if you wanted to go generous, like you could go to 950, but that's going generous. And I told them, like, in the market that we're in any market, I don't believe that you should overpay for a property because we don't know where this market's going to go. We have no idea why, and especially that much. And I told the buyers, the agent with the buyers, I was like, this is the numbers. Like, we're going to give you the data. Here are the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Now, if you choose to go and pay more for that house, that's fine and dandy. But this is where the numbers are. And it's crazy. Just like you said, Amy, it could be 1 street over. That house could go on the market overpriced and sell like that.
It's bizarre.
It's so bizarre. The things that you don't think should sell are crazy. And then the things that you think will sell do not.
I know. Story of real estate.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit to see if you guys are paying attention to the coming soon drama. Are y'all paying attention to all of it? Because y'all know I'm obsessed with studying this stuff. So are you paying attention to the coming soon drama that's all over the media?
Tell me about the drama.
So there's a lot of these companies now. The Zillow preview is a new thing. So Zillow is now signed on. When I last looked, I think it was 24 brokerages that have now signed on with Zillow preview, which has to do with coming soon listings. Okay, Keller Williams is now part of it. Remax is part of it. United. I don't even know all the 24.
Are we a part of it? Realty of America?
No. But and then you have Compass's coming soon listings, Compass coming soon listings, Compass, Rocket Mortgage, and Redfin are now like a thing with coming soon listings. Okay. All of this drama is about being able to put your listings on a coming soon preferred status and preview status before anybody else's. And this has been going on for over a week now. And it's, in my opinion, so stupid because who cares? Number one, like the number one place that everyone still goes is Zillow. Buyers and sellers, they all go to Zillow. And in a coming soon status, like in the Northeast right now, where they're still in a really good seller's market, if a home goes in coming soon and people get to see that hey, I really want this house that's coming soon, it doesn't matter that it's coming soon and you can sit and wait for it. When it does go live, like everybody and their mother is going to go see it. So it's just going to go into a bidding war. So I don't understand the coming soon thing. And then here, if you look at markets that have homes that are sitting like ours, and Florida's picking up a little bit better, but they're in a situation much like ours, and California. The three of us are in, even Oklahoma. A lot of the smile states are in this, where homes are sitting and we have a lot of inventory. Coming soon doesn't matter because buyers are like, who gives a crap if this home is coming soon? There's 18 others I can look at tomorrow. And it actually shows that this coming soon has become such a drama thing that if you put there's a strategy behind this coming soon thing. So, because in our world here in our local MLS, we can utilize our coming soon and it does go out to Zillow and it goes out to them. It shows that we have a coming soon. It is showing y'all, just so you know with your listings, that if you put a coming soon status in ours, we can do it, I think, for either 3 weeks or 30 days. Don't, because it's sale. Like, even though it shows that it when it does go active, it's a new listing, the people that are looking for coming soons have already looked at it again and again. And it's kind of like, is this thing ever going to go live? So the strategy with the coming soon, they say that's working, even in markets such as ours. Listings should always go live on Thursdays like we do, because the internet's the most active. So if you have the ability to put a coming soon in, you've got everything ready, a couple of really cool pictures just to make it look amazing, drop it in coming soon that Sunday or that Monday. So it's just in coming soon for a couple of days, and then boom, it's live on Thursdays. That's what we need to be doing, y'all.
You're right. And Tricia, this is what we've been doing. We normally go on coming soon on Tuesdays and we go live on Thursdays, because you're right. Sometimes I'm looking in my market center at Crosby. I like to study Crosby so much because I'm obsessed with Crosby. And I'll see homes that are coming soon for a very long time that I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, when is this thing going to go live? I want to see all the photos, and it does get very annoying. So you're right. By the time it goes active, I'm just like, oh, I'm over that home.
You're disappointed, right?
I am. I really am. So you are absolutely right about that. The coming soon should not be dragged on a very long time. It needs to be like a couple of days before.
Yes. And I think at the end of the day, y'all, this is what we do for a living. This is how we take care of our families. But if you're working with listings and working with sellers, your duty is to the sellers to get them the most amount of money in the least amount of time. But you have to, there's so many variables now with pricing and strategy and marketing and everything, that I don't know how any agents that don't work with sellers are going to go on there and work with them the right way, because it's a skill set. It's not something that you can just pick up and be like, oh, let me go just try to wing this listing.
I agree with you. I definitely agree. And I feel like ever since I joined Realty of America, and I've been in close proximity to you and Amy, especially you, Tricia, you're the queen of listings. I've learned so much, and everything I'm learning from you till this very day, I'm still applying it. I actually have the past president of NAREP right next to me, and she's just like tuned in. I mean, this is golden information from all of us, even including Paul.
Here's what matters. It's like, if you're not studying the data and you're not knowing your numbers, I'm going to show you something real quick. I have something on my screen. I want y'all to see some data here. I'm going to share this with you. Okay. So what you're seeing, you are seeing, this is Housing Wire. Now, I love Housing Wire. I pay attention to them like crazy. I can go into Housing Wire. I'm going to show y'all a national. This is national single family inventory. Do you see it on my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The red line is 2021, which is right here. Okay. The blue line is 2022. The orange line is 2023. Turquoise line is 2024. Purple is 2025, and yellow is 2026. Right here, over here where I'm at right now, this is April. Okay, so in 2022, if you remember, interest rates shifted in June of 2022. That's when they started shifting. So prior to that, we were in that COVID crazy market. So this is inventory. That's what this graph is about here. And this is across the United States. So in 2022, inventory was coming on the market, coming on, because everyone was like, oh, sell my house for this amount of money. Then look, here's June. And now by July, it starts tapering off. And now we kind of have a flat line. And then as we go towards the end of the year, it starts to dip down. 2023 is orange. Look at 2023. Doesn't really spike at all. It's kind of just steady. Not much of a good market. Look at the teal one, 2024. It's going up. Inventory is creeping up, right? It's steadily going up. Look at 2025. Steadily going up. And then, of course, seasonality comes in at the end of the year, when listings stop coming on the market because everyone's like, holidays are coming. I'm just going to wait for the spring. We don't know. It's too soon to tell. This is 2026. Okay. So it's already started low. There's that dip down there. And then look at this. It's just like steady, steady. We're started to go up a little bit. But it's like, where do we go from here? What's funny is that, or interesting, not funny, is that these graphs, especially the last 2 years, are almost identical. Do you see that? Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you think, because we've all been in this long, look at the orange one. 2023 sucked for many, many people. Look at it. 2022, look at the inventory. It was coming. And then, of course, everything changed. Look at what over here at this graph on the right. This is home price reductions, okay? Again, 2022 is when interest rates started to change, June of 2022. So there were no reductions. Here's April right here. Look at this, okay? And then as we get up here, things start to change. Look at our markets for the last 3 years. Here's orange, here's purple, here's teal. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I think right now, if I am a real estate professional and I'm guiding the consumer, the 3 previous years almost were identical when you look at the graphs with each other. New listing data, pending home sales, like this is new listing data. All of the graphs are so similar, so similar, that if I was like planning my year, if I was planning my year for pricing, and I've said it for months now, we're not going to see housing appreciation. Stop trying to plan for that. Like last year, as you just see in these graphs, there's no appreciation. It's like, there's a little, that's nothing. There's none of that. There's no like hockey sticks, like they call them. It's just steady. If I'm planning for 2026, I think now, even though we were like, interest rates are dropping, we're going to have an incredible season. I said, that's great, fine and dandy. In our world in Houston, even if interest rates drop, we have enough inventory on the market. And the data shows that if interest rates drop enough, they get under that like 5.5-ish, get just right to that or slightly under, we'll actually have a bunch of sellers that will come on the market, which is going to increase our inventory. So you're going to look at more of that seesaw effect of it, even like the same weighted person is on each side. It's just sitting there with it. That's a great market. We want that kind of a market. We don't want a market where we have no inventory, and we don't want a market where we have an overabundance of inventory. We like that balanced market. We're just not there yet. But from looking at those graphs and looking at the last 3 years, if one was to go by just the last 3 years data, wouldn't you say it's safe to assume that if I'm a seller, I need to price strategically, probably a little under market value to make sure I get that sale. I need to do everything under the sun to make sure that my home stands out above my competition. And if I'm a buyer, wouldn't you say that it's probably critical that I don't overpay for something right now, because the last 3 years data doesn't really show any kind of appreciation there? Not much, not in our market. Therefore, if I'm trying to protect my investment, I know that there's homes coming on the market every day. If I don't get this one because the seller's unrealistic in their pricing, I'll just wait for the next one. What's your thoughts, both of y'all?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's all about strategy right now. And I think that if, a buyer is coming in and they're like, Amy, where should I buy? This was yesterday, right? We were looking in 3 different types of neighborhoods in the north part of town. And I was like, guys, you have to think bigger than that. Like, you have to think not just what neighborhoods, but is this a business decision? Or how long are you going to stay here? Do you want an equity position? If you want those things, it's strategy. Yep. And so he had me running a 10-year report, is what I was doing this morning. I was running a 10-year report for my client. He goes, well, prove it to me. And so I'm having to run all this data. These guys want to know, like, this is a business decision. They're being very strategic. They're not just like, I'm paying cash. It's all good.
Mm-mm. What's your thoughts, Maggie?
Well, I'm actually going through that right now. So I submitted my offer on the ranch we're trying to acquire about 2 weeks ago. And we're going back and forth in negotiations. The seller wants a certain number. And it's been years since she's walked the property, so the property needs work. And Jose and I, at first we came in kind of way under, because I just wanted to feel her out and I wanted to feel the listing agent. So we came in at 900,000, and of course I knew that wasn't going to work. I was just like testing the waters. And okay, so I raised up my price, and the seller's like, okay, well, no commission, and we're only going to give this tiny amount in closing costs. So right now, after a lot of back and forth with the listing agent, I know which number we need to go in at so that I can still get the amount towards closing costs that I need. But you're right, like Jose and I, we've been patient, we've been waiting, because it's very strategic. We're not just going to be emotional about it and then just here, okay, let's overpay, because we know she got an appraisal on this property 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, it was evaluated at 1.1. Well, this property doesn't look in that condition that it did 4 years ago. So we're not at 1.1. And, but we've been patient and we've been very strategic. So today we should revise our offer and go in at what we feel comfortable going in at. And if not, you're right, there's something else that's going to pop on the market in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because they are popping up on the market.
They are. Do you think it'd be worth you getting an appraisal done?
I am.
Ahead of time, though, before you like, you know what, it's only appraised for this. Here's my offer.
Yes, well, that's exactly what we did. We contacted Celso, my guy. He's going out there tomorrow, so we're getting that approved by the seller.
Yes,
because we're not at 1.1. I just know. I know my market center. We're not at 1.1.
No,
it's not worth 1.1.
What are you doing with this ranch?
Our business, but not so much for real estate. The next business that we're opening.
I'm excited.
Why this ranch is very important to me. It's not for horses and for me to live there. We are going to live there for several years, but eventually we're probably going to turn our house into something like a restaurant or something. But I really want this property for not the real estate business, but for the other business that I've been extremely passionate about.
But wouldn't you say that because of real estate, it has enabled you to go into that adventure?
Real estate has been the biggest blessing in my life. It has saved my life. It saved me from postpartum depression. I was going through so much stuff with the twins, and it has been the biggest blessing. And through this blessing, I've been able to bless so many other sellers and buyers, my family, retire, my mom, my dad, Jose. Now Sebastian's going into that engineering program that I need him to go to so he can do the infrastructure to our future projects. And everybody's getting looped into this blessing that real estate has been.
A family business.
Truly. Like Amy, family. Yeah. You too, Tricia?
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think that's why we're so passionate about this, because we get to see people every day that, are going through struggles and financial struggles, and people are watching their jobs, go up in smoke because their job is not even it's not even there anymore. That's not even a position anymore. It's been replaced and we're so wildly blessed. And in the real estate world, 71% of agents haven't sold a home in 2 years. 71% of the agents actually don't even have one single listing, where we continue to thrive and take care of our families and grow other businesses. And it leans on that biblical principle, to whom much is given, much is required. And I think that's why we turn around and are like, my daughter told me the other day, she said, you're aggressive. You come off sometimes very aggressive. And I said, that's just who I am. Like, I'm not here for lollipops and teddy bears. Like, and there's people out there that are. That's not me. That's not how I've had to be. I've had to go through a lot to be where I am. And so I am aggressive, and I come off strong. And you know what? That's okay. There's somebody for everybody. But when you have to go through struggles like we have and take care of family and your company and your kids and like everything under the sun, you have to become strong. You can't be weak in this business.
No, at all.
No. But what we're doing, y'all, is like, if you look at the data, it's like there's 1% of the 1% that are actually doing what we do, which is selling a lot of homes and building other businesses, and taking the time to train our agents. And I'll end it here, because I was talking to Maggie, and not Maggie, to Amy about it before you jumped on, Maggie, that we're all with Realty of America, which is we believe we're going to build the greatest real estate company in freaking the world. And we're new, like we're less than 2 years old. And so when you're building a company, there's so much opportunity to build it right from go. And so many people get it wrong, where we actually are implementing this training done by people that are still in the trenches, not people that did it 10 years ago, not people that haven't been on a listing appointment in 6 years, people that are still on listing appointments every day, still talking to buyers every day, looking at offers every day, so that we can go out there and bring everybody along with us. I think, and we said it on our Zoom this morning, Maggie, you heard it. Javier said, like, we're committed to making our agents top producing agents. And I don't see another company doing that.
You're right about that. We're definitely unique, and we're in the trenches for sure. And because we're in the trenches, we're able to teach by example.
Yeah,
Exactly.
For sure.
Final thoughts, Amy, before we shut off for today.
I say whatever you focus on expands. So focus on the positive and focus on people that are positive.
Yeah. Who should they be plugging into? What should they be doing, Amy?
I mean, they should plug into a morning community. They should plug into a Verizon Thrive. They should plug into a positive podcast. And depending on what their goals are, if they want to get into investing, then there's so many different podcasts out there. But they need to plug into positivity. So
Yeah.
even if it's a listening to your church or listening to positive music, but there's so much noise out there. You just got to focus on the positive.
For sure. Maggie, if I'm a home seller and I come to you and I'm like, gosh, I just don't know about this market right now. I don't think it's a good time to sell. Is it, Maggie?
First, I would give you a hug and tell you it's great to sell. It's a great time. Let me show you how we're going to get you to the closing table and have a successful transaction. Not by overpricing your home, not by not decluttering, and we're going to pay attention to details, and we'll get you there. But you have to trust the professionals.
And the buyers that are out there right now, do you think it's a great time for buyers? Maggie, what you thought?
When it comes to buyers, I feel like it's always a great time if you're in need of a home. If you're renting, you definitely need to be a buyer and buy a property. If you have a growing family, if you're downsizing, I mean, buyers, it's always a great time for real estate. I wish I would have started buying real estate years ago when I first started making money. I didn't. I bought the side-by-side and the LV bag, and now I'm like, dang, if I only would have had a mentor, like someone like y'all in my corner, then I would have been like, hey, okay, all this stuff can wait. Let's really go after these properties.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is you're going to pay a mortgage either way. You just have to make the decision. Do you want to pay your own mortgage or someone else's?
There you go.
So I love that. We can just end on that right there. Y'all, like, plug in. We're constantly putting out data. We're constantly training agents. Like, if you're a real estate agent and no one's helping you, reach out to us for sure. Like, come into our world, because we do it every single day, live, in person. We have places for you to go and get reading. We have communities for you to plug into. Like, we're looking at numbers for people every day. Like, don't submit an offer at that. That's overpriced. Don't do that. Like, we're talking sense into buyers, sellers, and agents every day, because in our world, like, it's all about abundance. It's not scarcity. There's enough business for all of us to have an amazing life, and for all of us to do right by the buyers and the sellers. Because at the end of the day, that's our fiduciary duty.
Yes. And we'll see everyone on the 15th.
What's the 15th?
Top Agent Playbook.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes. It's going to be on the side of, yes, it's going to be on the south side of town. The address, do you have the address on you? I know what it's called. It's Pompa House. So everybody, if you know Melissa Pompa and her sister, it's going to be at their venue. So we'll see everyone on the 15th at that event center.
Hey, what time, Maggie?
From 11 to 1 o'clock.
Yeah. And y'all can go get tickets. Hey, Paul, is it the topagentplaybook.com?
I think so. And it's free. Free.
How can I forget that we have to say that, y'all? It's in 2 weeks.
Oh,
yes. So it's 2 weeks from today, not from today. It's on a Wednesday. It's 2 weeks. It's tax day. That's why we should not forget. It's freaking tax day. April 15th, come and learn how to be a top agent. We're going to be there. Paul's going to be there teaching artificial intelligence because that's what he teaches. We're going to train you up in 2 hours to be able to walk away from there and put something into practice immediately to improve your business and your life. Guaranteed for free. Top Agent, thetopagentplaybook.com. Go get your free tickets. Good job, Maggie. Yay. All right, you guys have an amazing week, amazing day. Get out there and sell some homes and have an awesome time doing it.
I got to go write a contract.
Love it. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.